Hey guys, it's Lando from the Snap Fantasy Football Podcast. Today I'm talking about Kareem Hunt. If you have specific players you want me to dive into, leave it in the comments or get into our DMs. We are Snap_Fantasy on Instagram and Twitter. And I will respond to you, get you waiver claims, start sits, trade options if you're still doing that. So get into our DMs and get at us and we will help you out. Subscribe to the channel, like this video if you like the content. But Kareem Hunt is the topic today, the running back for the Cleveland Browns. Can you trust him into the fantasy playoffs? And right now, I have to say, no, I will not trust him. Against Jacksonville, he only played in 41% of snaps. The week before, he was on 54% of snaps and 58% the week before. So since Nick Chubb has been back, Nick Chubb is the guy to own. Now, the last saving grace for Kareem Hunt was that he was getting the goal line work. A lot of red zone targets. He spelled Nick Chubb in those scenarios. And so we could at least hope for a touchdown from Kareem Hunt. We did at least against Philadelphia. But now it was Nick Chubb that got all the work. He had 19 attempts, 144 yards. He has gotten over 100 yards every single time he's been back, every game he's been back. So Nick Chubb is clearly the guy. And probably for the rest of their career. Now, Kareem Hunt signed a very team-friendly deal, and Nick Chubb is in a contract year. So there is kind of a question mark, Nick Chubb going forward. And there's a history now of the Cowboys paying Zeke and not working out for them. Nick Chubb and Aaron Jones are both two players that now need contracts next year, and it's going to be a tricky situation whether the Browns are going to continue this running game, this run-focused team, instead of putting the ball into Baker Mayfield's hands. Baker Mayfield has been a very disappointing quarterback. He finally got on the same page as Jarvis Landry this past week. And I think that needs to be the recipe for success for the Browns. Run the ball with your two best ball carriers, that's Chubb and Hunt, and then target Jarvis Landry as best as you can. And that they have a chance of winning. They have a chance of having very positive game scripts the next two games. Tennessee, now Baltimore is going to be tough, but both teams, it's going to be a very fast game. Both teams are going to run the ball like crazy. The New York Giants and New York Jets are games where you could potentially hope that Kareem Hunt basically spends the entire fourth quarter running the ball instead of Chubb. That's kind of what we're hoping for. And if that's the scenario we are banking on Kareem Hunt, looking at late game efficiency or just getting half of the work of Nick Chubb and hoping he gets in the end zone or breaks off a big one, that is not great. The two targets and the one target against Philadelphia has me also very concerned. He hasn't seen more than 4 targets since week 1. So Nick Chubb isn't a PPR guy. He's not a guy that you can rely on for points for receiving the football. So either way, it's not looking really good for Kareem Hunt. Unfortunately, I traded for him, so I'm in the same situation you are. He is a fringe running back 2 now, going forward into the playoffs, even with these good matchups. I'm concerned that if you start him, he can bust your team and not provide you those points. So maybe going after waiver wire guys, maybe guys like Wayne Gallman instead of Kareem Hunt, are going to be the key for victory going forward into the playoffs. But stay tuned for the to the Snap Fantasy Football Podcast. We do a live start sit every Sunday, 2 hours before game time, to give you the most up-to-date rankings we have and give you some really good start sit stuff. My co-host Mac and I, we make sure to answer every single question in the live stream, and we will answer your questions on DM as well. Thanks for coming by, guys, and we will see you next week.